All right, so I want to talk to those of you out there who struggle with weight loss issues, struggle with physique transformation issues, and have for a long time. I want to mention to you the scientific precept known as Occam's Razor. Occam's Razor is a scientific principle, scientific philosophy that says when there are multiple, two or more explanations for a single problem, the simpler explanation seems to be the right one. Or another way of looking at it is the simpler explanation always tends to be the right one. So, for you people who struggle with weight and struggle with physique transformation issues, do you really think the answer is that your attempted solutions just aren't complicated enough yet? Do you really think the answer is your macros aren't right and you need to balance your macros and get them in line and you need to calorie crunch and calorie count and calorie account and you need to get on the treadmill and count your calories and you need to figure out your BMR and you need to figure out your grams of carbohydrates, or you need to carbohydrate backload, and you need to intermittent fast, and you need to keto and adjust your carbohydrate intake to so many grams per day and find that magic window to take in so much protein after your workout. The scientific precept of Occam's razor dictates that all things being equal, the simpler explanation tends to be the right one. Marketers in the fitness and diet industry want to market to you that the solution to your problem is more and more complication, when in fact, the precept of Occam's razor tells you to simplify. Even Einstein said that simplicity is the truth, and the truth is simple. When it comes to training, you stick to the principles, you apply them consistently, and the same with optimizing metabolism for weight loss. The truth is, you keep overcomplicating and overthinking everything, which is the exact opposite of Occam's razor. Do the same thing with diet, like I said, with all the nonsense out there with macros and the rest of it, that you need a calculator just to eat. Human beings and mammals have been eating since time began with no such problems. So Occam's razor, all things being equal, the simpler solution tends to be the right one. Stop the nonsense. Stop the overcomplication. Stop the overthinking. You really think the solution is that your program and your diet just isn't complicated enough yet and you haven't found the right complicated formula? That's a cop-out. That's an excuse. Same thing in training. All this rep tempo nonsense and all these other outside-in things to think about. It's all a bunch of ludicrous nonsense. The more complicated you make you trying to solve your physique transformation issues and your weight loss issues, the more likely you are to keep struggling. The scientific precept of Occam's razor, all things being equal, the simpler explanation tends to be the right one. And in this, simple principles followed consistently lead to the results that you want. It's not complicated. It's just that marketers and wannabe experts want you to think it's complicated. Everyone who's an expert in their industry, who's been around as an icon for decades and decades, everyone from Warren Buffett to Einstein, will preach to you Occam's razor, that the truth is simple and simplicity is the truth. So keep that in mind. Stop overcomplicating it. That's the reason you're not finding a solution to your weight struggles. That's the reason you're not finding a solution to your physique transformation issues. Occam's razor precept, all things being equal, the simpler explanation tends to be the right one. So do you really think the reason you haven't solved your weight loss issues, the reason you haven't solved your physique transformation issues, is it just isn't complicated enough yet? That is absolutely ridiculous. So let's get with the reality math. Let's stop making the excuses. Let's stop overcomplicating everything, and let's get to the truth. And the truth is simple, and simplicity is the truth. And start applying the precept of Occam's razor. And when everyone wants to tell you that all this stuff is rocket science, if you buy into it, you only have yourself to blame. So stay tuned. I'll have more in the future.